Can you see this? Is this visible to you, mouse? Webcam. Oh, you almost got it. My face is over here, baby! One of the best ways I know to make the webcam focus is to put black and white right next to each other, so I need to do that right now. Now just... See? It works like a charm. Hello everybody, this is Miranda the Hybrid, and welcome to our special edition of Art Talk Thursday. So why is this special edition? It's only because I'm answering the questions on TikTok on a video I recently posted. Now, like, half of the questions are about art techniques, so I'm going to be deferring you to other tutorials at the end of the video for those. But some people ask genuine questions, so let's answer them. I do this like once every few months, and since we recently reached 500,000 people on TikTok and 40,000 here on YouTube, I thought it would be appropriate to just answer some questions and have a more goofy, lighthearted Art Talk Thursday. So let me pull up the video. This is what it was. I simply titled it, "Give me your questions!" And so I'm going to be answering them now. There's 74 of them, and I swear half of them are people asking me how to draw certain things. If I answer your question, it will be liked. Fictional Progress is asking, what is your favorite holiday and why? I love Halloween because I get to dress up and the decor is... I have to agree. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and it is the only holiday I really celebrate outside of, doing like Passover stuff and Hanukkah stuff with my family and sometimes Christmas. Long story. We have a really, really weird muddling of religions in my family. But yeah, Halloween's amazing because it's just... it's such a vibey time, and you can dress up super duper weird like you always want to, and nobody's gonna question you. So yeah, it's the greatest time of the year. Bladequill is asking, I'd love to learn about your past. When did you first know you wanted to be an artist? Did you ever consider other careers? And if so, what were they? Art was kind of always in my blood. It was always on my mind. I was always drawing. I started drawing when I was like 5 years old. My dad used to read The Hobbit to me in Lord of the Rings, and I would just sit down on the floor with a sketchbook and draw the pictures that popped up in my head. That's kind of when they found out that I had a weird art talent. I didn't know I wanted to be an artist until probably around 18. People were driving me towards engineers, physics, stuff like that. I actually, despite being an artist, I have a really good knack for physics and engineering. I used to design machines all the time, and I built several rather complicated wing contraptions for Halloween, like actual working physical mechanical wings, and mostly out of like dowel rods and bungee cords. So I have this fascination with science. And I think my parents were kind of hoping that I would become an engineer, but they knew in my blood that I was going to be an artist. I went into the first year of college, and I thought I was going to be a car designer, and then whoop-a-ding! I turned into an animator because I didn't like the design, because I realized that I really didn't like how the design industry worked, plus there was one particular professor that really just put a bad taste in my mouth. Yoongi's House Wreckers asking, anyone has tips on how to face your perfectionism? I'm just a beginner and I know my faces will be bad because of this. I'm scared to even try. Actually, somebody named Meet My Illusion has basically what I was gonna say. Shit art is better than no art. Excuse you, I am recording a video. Are you gonna play my guitar? What are you doing up there? I guess Roxy really likes Rintentide. My guitar's named Rintentide. Weirdo. You have to keep moving forwards. If you never try, you'll never do anything. And believe me, I've done other videos on this before. If you just browse through, I suppose you'll be able to find them. I think finding my artistic style is where I show off a bunch of my sketchbooks. I have crap tons of bad art. You're never going to learn, you're not going to start off really good. Like, when I began drawing, I didn't know how to draw dragon legs or dragon wings. I used to draw dragons when I was a kid. And, I just drew them, though, because I loved doing the art itself. And then, as I progressed over the years, I learned anatomy, I learned detailing, I learned shading. It comes in steps. You're not going to simply start off a genius. You have to put in the work. And the same thing goes with perfectionism. If you think that's going to be perfect in the beginning and then you quote-unquote disappoint yourself, you're going to discourage yourself and not going to go anywhere. Put in your mind right now, you are not going to be good in the beginning. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay. Nobody is good in the beginning unless they're a freak of nature prodigy. And those people come one in a few million. So trust me, it's fine. You're okay. Just do it for your pure enjoyment. Experiment in the beginning. And over time, you will build into a better artist. I promise. Pixie O Power is saying, I came for the art, then watched a bunch of videos, and you also seem like an awesome human. Thank you. It's a really sweet compliment. Ghostly Affection is saying, what's your favorite piece you've done or done by another artist? I actually have no idea. I like so many different kinds of art. I really cannot answer that question. And I love almost every single piece I made. I really don't have a favorite. Like, genuinely, I do not have a favorite piece of my own art. I enjoy myself as a whole, not as tiny pieces. Plus, if you go and you say, wow, this is so good, then you're going to try, you know, like, possibly going and trying to achieve that level over and over again and being disappointed and afraid to, like, experiment. And I love experimenting with style. I don't really have an artistic style. I bounce all over the place. So I don't know if I really have a personal favorite piece of art. I know that my favorite piece of art by another human is by Marcel Duchamp. He was a Dada artist in like the 1920s? Something like that. And I like his art because he was trying to push the boundaries of what art is. Dadaism was a type of art where you just kind of questioned what the frick is art. It happened after World War I and people were kind of shell-shocked. So it's nonsense art. I think Dada in Dutch means nonsense, something like that. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. And yeah, Marcel Duchamp, he literally found a urinal out on the street, turned it upside down, signed it, and put it in a gallery. And people thought it was art simply because it was in a gallery. So he's probably one of my favorite artists, and that might be one of my favorite pieces of art, simply because it was an extremely bold question of what is art. And he made some really good points because of that. Now, if you're gonna ask about my favorite art from just, you know, like traditional artists, there are tons of pieces by Da Vinci I really, really enjoy. Maybe the Vitruvian Man. It's such an iconic piece of art, but also scientific at the same time. Da Vinci was a really, really weird dude, and some of the stuff he did wasn't very good, but he was extremely important to the progress of artistic knowledge and scientific knowledge, so I really respect him as an artist, and his art in general. BlueJ23 is asking, backstory time! What kind of struggles did you constantly face, either growing as a person or in something like school? Congrats on the follows. Thank you. A struggle I actually still deal with is being afraid that my art isn't good enough. When I do art for myself, like the webtoon and stuff, I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Mwah. I am amazing. I am the prime artist. And, you know, very happy with myself. But for some reason, when I pop over and do something for a client, suddenly I feel like my art is shit. And it causes me to procrastinate horribly. There's actually a client that I'm almost a year and a half late on right now. Also for other reasons though, because he kind of did some weird kind of sexual advance kind of comments, so now I'm like kind of scared to do the art and talk to him, but that's my own problem. Yeah, but definitely my biggest struggle is procrastination due to my anxiety. Because I have OCD, I have anxiety, I have depression, I have ADHD, and I have synesthesia. That's a big combo right there. And so it kind of gets in my way, especially my work life. That's why sometimes my videos are late. It's because I get worried about posting them, or I literally get anxiety sitting down in front of the program because I'm like, I can't do this, I can't do this, oh my god, I'm horrible, nobody likes me. And so that's probably my biggest problem right now. It still feels unreal that there are 40,000 of you here on the YouTube channel. Especially because the view counts are low, and I know that's because just not everybody's interested in a particular video. And just getting ahead of the fact and believing in myself is one of my biggest struggles. And I think that's a pretty universal struggle though. Regret is asking, what is your favorite memory? Art related and non-art related? I don't know if I have a favorite art related memory. Maybe finishing the illustrations for my first ever novel, because that was a lot of illustrations. With that novel, I'm rewriting it right now because it's a good story. It's actually PIRANTINA, the webtoon, is actually a series of books, and I've written 6 of them so far and published 2. Excuse you. I was putting an illustration at the end of every chapter. And also the fact that it was the first book I ever wrote. Actually, no, the first book I ever wrote was when I was 16, but I never published it. It was the first novel I ever published, and so the writing is not very good. It sounds like it was written by a 16-year-old, so I'm editing it and re-releasing it in probably 2 or 3 months. I just have so much other stuff to do that it's taking a longer time than I thought it would. But yeah, so definitely one of my favorite art-related memories is when I finished the illustrations, I put together the book, and I got the book in the mail. And I know some people might not consider this art-related. Please don't drop my 5 terabyte backup drive. Yeah, but like, I wrote a book. It's crazy. And it has illustrations on every every single chapter has an illustration. It's just, when I got this in the mail and I was able to leaf through it and just say, hot damn, I did this. That is one of my favorite art-related memories. My favorite non-art related memory is the first time I flew an airplane. I thought I was going to, oh, this answers another question somebody else had for me before. I wanted to be a pilot like you would not believe. And so my parents, when I was like 16, 13 maybe, I forget, they bought a 1-hour pilot lesson for me in a Cessna Skyhawk, which is a type of small airplane. And I got to fly an airplane for an hour and I cried. It was one of the best things that I've ever done in my life because I have this extreme wish of being able to fly. Like an unhealthy obsession with flight. And so the fact that my parents, for my birthday, got me into an airplane and I was literally controlling the airplane, apparently I was pretty good at it, that remains to be my favorite memory in my lifetime. I was just so thrilled to actually be flying. I literally was crying and the pilot was just sitting there, you know, happy old man, kind of looking over like, oh, she's enjoying it. Oh, she's crying. Oh, she's really enjoying it. So one of my favorite memories, yeah. Artsy Luna is asking, when did you start getting into art? About 5 years old. Do you ever have times you question if you should continue down the path of an artist? It's too much in me. I know for the rest of my life, even if it's not physically drawing, I'll be doing something artistic, no matter what it is. My largest struggle is finishing things on time and believing in myself. Once I get over that, which might take a while, then I think I'll be a lot more successful. Jackie O is asking, how did you overcome that little voice in your head saying that your drawings won't come out good as you want it? I don't really care about that voice. Things in your head almost never come out the way that you want them on paper. Just kind of a fact of life. You have to have like perfect, insanely good brain-hand output coordination, whatever you want to call it. I have ideas that pop up in my head, and most of the time they transform, kind of like life does, kind of like existence does. They transform and they morph on the paper into something that I want them to. So I don't worry as much about coming up with a concept in my head and having it perfect on the page. Once it's down on the page, that's when I worry about sculpting it into what I want it to look like. Oh wait, I need to read this in a dramatic voice. I am always so bad at thinking of questions. Gah! Which Harry Potter house do you identify with the most? Probably Gryffindor and Ravenclaw. I'm a huge nerd, but also I'm a dork that really likes being the hero and doing the right thing. So, yeah, I'm essentially a smart jock, if you could put it together. I also did sports and I want to be able to fly on brooms. The only thing I don't like about Gryffindor is the house colors. I'm very much a turquoise, white, and black kind of person. Thuagyu says, I just want to say I lobe your energy. I lobe your energy and your personality so much, sending all the love. Thank you, I really appreciate it. It's a really sweet compliment. Smash Lay CC is saying, I hope to commission when you're open again. Let me finish the other 2 commissions that I have sitting in my back pocket, then I'll open my commissions again. Yarn Zoo is saying, I just followed your YouTube. What recommendations do you have for using pastels and oil pastels and them not smearing? Okay, I'm seriously not trying to come off as rude. I might be a good artist, but I'm not practiced in all different materials. The materials that I am really good in are digital, pencil, ballpoint pen, marker, watercolor, and sculpture. Sculpture I just really haven't shown you guys yet. I usually, since I have pretty bad OCD, I hate getting my hands dirty. I can't do it unless I really get my hands dirty. Like, that's why I like pottery, for instance. I don't get to practice it as often as I would like to, but I like pottery because I can just get all of my hands dirty. But I don't like pastels. I don't like oil paints. Not too big of a fan of chalk, unless I'm out on the road drawing and getting my entire body dirty at once. So I actually don't know that much about oil pastels. Like, that is outside of my knowledge bubble. There are actually quite a few things. This is something that I feel a little bit sad about, because lots of people ask me about, like, what fixative should I use? What paint should I use? What turpentine do you recommend? And I'm like, I know I'm a good artist, but I don't know all about that stuff. Yeah, I'm mostly a digital and, drawing kind of artist. I'm a lot more, story and technique driven than materials driven. So I don't know how to answer that question. You probably, the internet has basically everything you need. If you just spark a quick Google search, you should be able to find the answer to that. And if I never am able to answer a question, just Google search it. The internet has great information on it. Undulating Souls. What a name! Undulating Souls is asking, do you have storyboard comic experience? I could use some help learning how to draw people that look the same from multiple angles and distances. Buddy, you and me both. If you look at my webtoon, I just pop up some pictures here. Look at how inconsistent she looks. I have great experience storyboarding. I regard myself as quite a good storyboard artist, but I'm horrible at drawing people consistently. If you message me on Instagram or something and ask for the Discord server link, there is an artist on there, Kunai, or you can find her on Tumblr as Kunai Girl. She is one of the best artists I know when it comes to drawing her characters consistently. They look exactly the same in every single drawing she does. And she doesn't just copy and paste, she just literally sketches it down. So if you want to ask somebody about consistent style, ask her. She's really good. Zeke Yeager's girlfriend is asking, what do you use for character inspiration when it comes to your designs? I don't. People have been asking me how to come up with characters or what's my process. Frankly, I don't really have a process. This is kind of where there's a division between talent and skill. Talent is something you're born with. It's natural aptitude. Skill is what you build up over a long time. 80% of my art is skill. The 20% is the percent you're asking for right now. I don't know how I come up with characters and stories, it just happens. I could be listening to a song, I could be sitting in the shower, and suddenly there's a new character in my head with their full design, their backstory, their personality quirks, and how they relate to everybody else in the worlds I'm creating. It happens extremely spontaneously, and I don't really make decisions about it. So I can't really tell you what my inspirations are, because I don't know what they are myself. Deborah Jean is asking, what's a color that you end up gravitating towards more than others? Ha 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 ha! Turquoise! Upside Down Robot is asking, is Superman allergic to bananas? I don't know his genetic sequencing. If you injected the banana with kryptonite or watered it with kryptonite water, I suppose he'd be allergic to it. But bananas straight up, I know they have a mild amount of radiation, but does that radiation come from kryptonite itself? I don't think it does, because was kryptonite even on Earth? I don't think so. It depends on how you grow your bananas. Are you watering them with kryptonite water, or is it normal water? Moon Hippie Art is asking, can you wrap my head around shading and shadows? What is your favorite medium? I can't wrap your head around an illusion of light unless I turn you into a shadow yourself. And my favorite medium is probably ballpoint pen. I really enjoy drawing with ballpoint pen. Coffee break. So. I just spilled coffee all over the front of my body. Crazy. Let me go change into a different shirt. Not me dumping almost like $400 on Unisana's merch. Can you guys deal with my super fuzzy hair? My head was disappearing with the hat and the black side of the shirt, so I'm just gonna take my hat off. In fact, this entire room is super dark. Yeah, this is what it looks like a few months after shaving your head when you've had long hair for your entire life and you have no freaking idea how to style short hair, so you just turn into a puffball. That's what I am right now. It is my puffball hair. Sailing Cat is asking, can I have a video of just your hyperactivity thoughts and stuff because I love the energy? I guess I could put together some sort of compilation. Katie Beatus is asking, how do you get over creative blockage? That is still something I'm trying to figure out. I run a live stream here on YouTube that I like calling Art Block Friday. It happens at 6 p.m. Eastern, and it's on Friday. But usually when I get really bad art block, I just don't draw. Like, you don't have to force yourself to draw. That's, I think, a big misconception about art, is that you always have to be doing it. You don't. If you're having a difficulty drawing, then just don't draw at the moment. Like, find another outlet. Go for a run. Go for a walk. I'm sorry, my hair is driving me absolutely crazy. It looks so funky. Fayazarahimin is asking, I want to know more about your language. Okay, it's not a language, it's an alphabet. Pirantine, I developed it in the first iteration, which is what I call first generation, I think 7th or 8th grade when I was bored. And then it went through 2 different iterations. Pirantine available right now is 3rd generation, and I'll put a link for it down below. I have 37 other alphabets. I think 4 or 5 of them will be showing up in the webtoon. There's Pirantine, which is the main alphabet of Pirantina. The reason it has so many different letters and symbols is because it has to be used by multiple different species with their own languages. This means that it needed to cover the different vocal sounds that they make. Then there's Elvish, there's Megain, and then there's Notorous. There's also Hebridean, God, and Dark. So that's actually that's 6 that will be popping up. I don't know if I'm going to be using the alphabet of the darkness. I don't know yet. The darkness is actually a god called Dardu, but they don't really pop up until the very end of the first book of the webtoon, so it's not going to be for a while. Regret, in with another question. What do you love most about yourself? To be frankly honest, I'm quite smitten with myself, so I can't really answer that question. DatBoy064 is asking, who's your favorite Pokemon? It's Pikachu! No, Mew. I always loved Mew. Mew has always been my favorite. Juguer Leo is asking, can you drunk draw videos while you discuss philosophy? I would pay to see that. Keep that in mind. That is a great idea for a future video. Thank you for the content idea. Yee is asking, I know that a lot of people normally give tips on how to get better, but are there any tips that have damaged your art or maybe held you back? Is there anything we should avoid? Yes, absolutely, 100%. If anybody ever says not to use reference, punch them in the face. Okay, not literally, don't demonetize me or anything over that. Okay. Use reference. You need to use reference to get better. Like, a doctor does not get born just knowing the anatomy of their patient. They have to learn. Nobody ever gets good at anything without looking at what's happened before them. Use reference to get better. There's like this stupid culture in like, especially in high school I've noticed, where people are like, oh, you must draw from your brain. You cannot be good unless it's all in your mind. This is anime superpower kind of crap. And it's complete bullshit. Another thing, funnily enough, is people always telling me that my art is really good. So I never thought I needed to practice. The big realization that I really needed to study and practice more to become better came in college when I got into a school that had people who were better than me at art. So I kinda was like, oh wow, I really do need to practice more and study, don't I? And I did a lot of art growth in college because of that. Yay, I didn't spill it this time. Ah, I almost dropped my phone. Daniela KRGR is asking, how do you draw from imagination? I've been drawing all my life, but I always used a reference, so I can't draw characters and other things from my head. This is another practice answer. I memorized the anatomy of people, and I just did it so often that now I can do it from my head. The Forest Walker Zero is asking, was there a part of your life where you felt lost? How did you get through it, and why? Explain! Probably a few, like a year and a half ago. Actually, probably after I finished art school, broke up from my boyfriend, started doing things on my own, and it's kind of hard for me to talk about, sorry. Left my boyfriend, because that just wasn't a healthy relationship, and tried getting a few art jobs here and there, but I just didn't know what direction I wanted to go in. For the longest time, I thought I was going to be an animator, which really just didn't work out. It takes too much time for what is, for me, too small of a product. So I started working overnights at a gas station, especially after my Yeta died, my first grandfather, and then another person in my family died after that. And it was just a slog of years, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, and nothing was really sticking. My art wasn't well known whatsoever. I think I had 300 followers on Instagram, something like that. And then I found TikTok and got attention pretty quickly. I don't know if it was my art, my personality, or both. Frankly, if you look at my really old videos on TikTok, I'm a very different person now. So I had friends. I started realizing that I really enjoyed teaching because I started teaching at a local art center. I was on a volleyball team. I lost 70 pounds after breaking up with my boyfriend. I was in the best shape I had ever been in my life. I was running, I was going to the gym. It was a great time, and then my grandmother died. And my grandfather had some, he had like dementia and stuff and Parkinson's. So there wasn't really anybody in my family who could take care of him aside from me. So I went down, lived with him for 4 months. It was only supposed to be 4 months. And, was taking care of him. And that was probably 4 of the roughest months of my life. And then coronavirus started. So then I had to stay for another 3 months. And those 7 months coupled were some of the worst of my life. I was extremely depressed. I went through some really, really shocking realizations. I gained weight back. The gym closed. It was really bad. I came back home. Finally, we set up a system where we could take care of my grandfather without me there. So I went back home and I moved in with a friend. And then he ended up just not being a good match for me, friend-wise. And so I left that friendship. And I moved into here. The place was only halfway done. And we had to do a lot of work to get it into a livable shape. And I was just kind of sitting in here alone for the first time in my life, like completely alone, without anything to do. Upset with TikTok because of the way the algorithm was working and the way I'd gotten addicted to the attention. And so I was in a really dark place. Started taking antidepressants. They took away my ability to work. And then I got off them, which happened only like 2 or 3 months ago. So frankly, all of this growth, what you guys see here, is only like a quarter of a year old. Everything I've done, all these videos, half of my TikTok following, all of my YouTube following, it's less than 3 months old. And so this is so new for me. And you guys are literally the beginning of whatever the heck I'm building here. I don't know what I'm building. I don't know where it's going to go. But you are the first people in on it. And it's really cool that I have you guys here. It is honestly really cool. And I'm thankful for every single one of you. I don't know who you are. I'm looking right through my camera at you right now, and I don't know who you are, but I'm really happy that you're here watching this video right now. Whew, this was a really long video. I actually had to cut out a significant portion of the questions that people asked, simply because I did not want this to go over half an hour. The recording was actually about 53 minutes long. Okay, as channel announcements go, I am about a quarter way done with the next webtoon chapter, so that will be coming out. If you guys haven't read the webtoon, please do so, because it is something I'm extremely proud of, and it's a project that I'm pursuing as much as I can. The link is down below. And I've decided that there will be 2 live streams a week. The first live stream is, of course, the Art Block Friday, where we all just sit down, chill, and sketch together, and that is Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern. The second live stream is going to be on Sundays at 2:00 p.m., and it's something new I want to try. It is going to be open tutorial night. You guys can come into the live stream and ask whatever you want, and I will do my best to answer your question. I have no way to prioritize who gets what taught to them. I think there's something called a super chat, but I have no idea what it is, frankly. Okay, we just reached 550,000 people on TikTok. Holy crap, our community is growing super fast. I'm going to edit this video and start making more videos so that your need for art stuff is sated. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. I know this wasn't the most interesting video, but it's more of an interaction-based video. Make sure to drink your water, get your sleep, believe in yourself, and chase your dreams. See you on Friday. Love you guys, and bye-bye.